welcome to Dandelion Lessons here on Patreon. We had a tremendous storm here last night. I guess my neighbor, I slept through it, but my neighbor told me it sounded like a freight train came through around 11, and I woke up to no power. And it just came on, I don't know, about an hour and a half ago. So it was an interesting morning. It was fun to have everything by candlelight. And had that whole light in the darkness feel to it. Anyways, I wanted to start today by reading a passage to you in the book Things That Join the Sea and the Sky by Mark Nebo. I know I've talked about this book before. And I put my finger in today and opened to this page. And it's the passage that I want to read is called The Thing Falling. I walk 7 blocks down Pennsylvania Avenue and wander into this small bistro. Sitting near the bar, I watch all the quiet strangers being brought water. We're always being watered. The piano man waits a long while, and then he begins. I feel, and when he begins, I feel something vital stretch in each of us, like roots aching for rain. I close my eyes, and it's yesterday. I was eating a sandwich on a bench when 3 birds ducked around branches lifted by the wind, the way I sometimes catch the thing falling and let it rest on the ground. After a while, the piano parts my tiredness like a veil, and I feel possible again. Now I don't know whether to put my glasses on or keep them off, whether to bring things into focus or let them come apart. Either way, the sky is calling behind its clouds, like the stars of truth that burn behind our thoughts. Each time I get up and begin again, I am a dark thing unfolding in a wash of light. I watch others fall and rise around me. So this is really beautiful, and I would actually like to spend more time thinking about it, but it seemed very fitting, the part, each time I get up and begin again, I'm a dark thing unfolding in a wash of light, as I had my candlelit morning this morning. It was beautiful. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, or I hope so, that we're connected there. And if we're not, please connect with me there. Just say hello if I don't already follow you, because I want to. And I don't always see everything, so I would really like to follow you there. But I posted a picture this morning of my art table as I was trying to do my intuitive drawing by candlelight at 4:30 in the morning. It was really special, and because I didn't have a blow dryer, I actually went to get the blow dryer before I realized that I couldn't plug it in. I realized how beautiful it is to not really see. My practice was even more intuitive that way. So when I read this, I'm a dark thing unfolding in a wash of light, I really loved that. I really loved it. And Mark Nebo, there's a part in this book where he talks about his mornings every day, and he says that every morning he wakes up and he parts the curtains to let the light in. So he's letting the light in to his space and his heart and his life and his morning. And then he goes and he makes his wife a cup of coffee, because he feels like then he is doing something kind for someone else at the beginning of his day. And I love that thought. And I love that thought of each of us waking up as these dark beings that enter a wash of light, and how we can find that. Instead of waking up and staying dark, which we've all done that, right? I certainly have. But instead, if we're mindful and we wake up and from our darkness and enter into a wash of light every single day, and find the few simple things that we might be able to do, as simple as parting the curtains or making a loved one a cup of coffee or tea, making our children breakfast, any of those things, just simple things we can do. What a beautiful way to start our day. So that was my reading today, and I like I said, I want to spend a little more time with it. If you don't have this book, I highly recommend it. I'm really enjoying it. So I also have a card that was sent to me by my friend Kelly, who is the paint maker behind Stoneworks Mill. And Kelly is a really wise being. She's just a generous and giving and thoughtful and deeply kind human being. And if you ever have a reason to correspond with her, you'll feel that, you'll feel that wonderful presence about her. But she sent me this card from a deck of cards that she owns. Just this one card that she said she really thought about and picked one for me and sent it to me when she had sent me some paints before. And I just love it so much. And I keep it perched on my painting table so I can see it always. It's right by where I rest my brushes when I'm painting. And it says, when I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. And this is a really important message for me, because apparently I'm not always in alignment with the universe, because my peace can be disrupted. And it has been in the past few days. And I woke up this morning in the darkness feeling much lighter in my heart. And I saw this card when the light came in the room, and I could finally see things. And it reminded me of this lesson that I need to keep learning. So when I am in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disrupted. And I think there's a place in all of our lives for that thought. And so I'm very thankful to Kelly for sending me this card, because it is definitely a part of my everyday now. And I'll keep reading it and trying to be mindful of that. And so for our lesson today, boy, also, isn't our creative practice a way to be in alignment with the love of the universe, especially when we create from our heart and then send things out into the world to bring joy to someone else? Dandelion lessons are that for me. And I continue to make them every week, and I have a rotating list of people that I send them to, and it's getting bigger and bigger. It's wonderful. So I just wanted to add that I think our creative practice is a way to be in alignment with the love of the universe. So I want to keep this card in mind, because it also really speaks to what Mark Nepo says. I'm a dark thing unfolding in a wash of light. And this image is beautiful to me in that way. This dark thing that gets lighter and lighter, and then this sort of embrace of blossoms, almost like lotus flowers or sunflowers even, surrounding it in a wash of light. And so I want to keep this in mind when I make my painting today. And I want you to keep it in mind too. So we can think about being in alignment with the love of the universe by doing our creative practice. And we can also think about being that dark thing. Sam, I'm sorry, it just never ends with the cats. We can also think about being that, the dark being a wash in light. So for my materials today, I have this little pad of Kilimanjaro watercolor paper. It's the house brand of Cheap Joe's, and it's really nice. Cheap Joe's is an online art supply store. So this paper is as fine as any other like Arches cotton paper that I've used. It's cold pressed, 100% pure cotton rag. And it's a little block, 4x6, so it's the same size as the Strathmore watercolor postcards. And so I'm going to be using that today. And then I have two brushes. I have my trusty Chinese paintbrush wrapped with yarn from my friend Janet that I just treasure. And then I have this beautiful brush made by Jess from Branch and Brush. That is a soft tip brush, and it's just so lovely. And then I have a jar of water, my paper towels as always, but I also have some paints from my friend Christina. And Christina is an artist. She's a watercolorist, and we started painting around the same time. And she has this beautiful dreamy style that's very rich in color, and she just has a beautiful feel about things. I love her work. And she also has a YouTube channel that you should check out. If you search for Christina, spelled with a C, Cristina Mazzoni, Mazzoni. Her videos on YouTube are awesome. So if you don't follow her yet, I highly recommend that you give her a look. But she started making watercolors not that long ago, and I've purchased a few sets from her, and she sent me a few little goodies here and there too, and they're just delightful. And this one actually added a couple colors to it, but this one was a set of minerals and metals that she purchased on her recent trip to Europe. And I believe these were purchased in Rome. And this is pure copper. It's real copper. It's not mica. And this is pure brass. Margot, also of Earth Mineral Arts, also makes a pure brass that is beautiful. This one's very different. This is wisteria, which is a mica color, and it's just like pure light when you paint with it. This one's just called pink. This is a Roman black, one of the first colors Christina sent to me, and this one is Roman slate, and it is stunning, really deep and dark. So I'm thinking of these for my darks. And then this one is a newer palette. It's called Heart of Stone, and it's French slate, real malachite, and pink pipestone. And these three colors are just gorgeous together. Okay. And then she also sent me this beautiful piece of talc, and it's very delicate. It crumbles off. But it's the most gorgeous green color with the silver flashing on it. And it's a piece of Vermont talc that's sort of in the shape of a heart. So I thought I would have that here too. But for now, I'm going to turn off the video, start again with some music, and just paint, keeping those things in mind. So my painting is now dry, and oh, do I love it. These paints are exquisite. They're so beautiful. Wow, I can't get over them. These colors together, the malachite and the pink pipestone and the slate, and then this other pink color with all of these subtle grays and blacks and metals. It's very indicative of the heart chakra to me. I just love this so much. So anyways, I think it's so wonderful, and I'm always just sort of in awe of how a piece of writing or some music or another artist's image and some words can inspire me and spark something in me that result in, that can hold in my mind and in my heart while I'm working, and that can result in something completely authentic to me. I posted something else on Instagram today about, I watched that new Nike commercial, which is a big political hot mess, and I don't want to get into that at all. But the ad is supposed to be very inspiring, and it is. I can see where it is. It's really wonderful in that way. But all it made me think of is that why do we always have this need to be the best, to be the most original, to be the innovator, to be the best, the very best. And I've just never had that, and that probably says a lot about why I'm so terrible at sports. Besides being completely uncoordinated, but with that, I don't have that competitiveness in me. I don't have a sense. I don't like confrontation. I don't have that competitive edge, and I'm just kind of the person who wants everybody to have enough and be happy and do well, and because I have this idea, which I've talked about before, that instead of trying to be the best or the first or the most original or the most innovative, if we just all try to do our best from our heart to usher beauty and peace and hope and kindness into the world, that it would just be a better place. So anyways, I don't even know where I was going with that, but those are the thoughts that were in my head. But I love how I can be inspired by other creators, and how I arrive at something that's totally authentic to me. And that was my point, is that isn't it enough to be authentic? It's enough to be authentic. We don't have to be first and best and most unique and original. We just have to be authentic. We have to create from our own heart, and that, I guess that's what I was trying to say. But anyways, I love this so much, and I thought I would put my chop on it so I can send it out. And I think this will be part of this month's package, because it's just really lovely. It's hard to see it, how lovely it is. Very subtle granulation and colorations in this. Well, that didn't work very well. You know why? It's a cold pressed paper, so my chop needs to be recarved. It's getting worn out. That's the thing with these. They're soapstone, and so after a while, you do have to kind of enhance your carving, unless they're professionally done by someone, which mine wasn't. Well, that's good enough. So, yeah, that's our lesson today. And, I want to keep that in my mind for the next little while, and be mindful of how I wake up in the morning and how I seek that first bit of light, and how I come from the darkness into the light every day. And one small, simple thing I can find to do that celebrates that and honors that and opens my day to that in that way. And also something small that I can do as an act of kindness every morning. And actually for me, the first thing I do is I feed my cats. So maybe that's it. I give my cats all a love and a pet and a kiss, and I feed them and talk to them, and they're so excited. So maybe that's my thing. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's as simple as that. Anyways, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And I will see you soon. Tomorrow, I believe it's It's a watercolor techniques video. I don't have my calendar in front of me. I believe it's watercolor techniques. So I will see you back here for that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.